there, everybody. Welcome back to Diesel Creek. My name's Matt. Today, we're going to be hitting up another Richie Brothers sale. Now, this is my favorite time of the year for the Richie Brothers sale because it's like big industrial grade Christmas present time. Let's go see if we can't find some last minute gifts to put on our little wish list to Santa. So before we dive into the mechanized monstrosities out here at the auction, I've always been open about pricing and stuff on the channel. I think that's one of the things that people appreciate is that, like, you see a lot of videos on YouTube, oh, I got this truck or this dozer or, you know, whatever, and they don't ever tell you what it cost them or why they bought it or how they bought it or whatever. And I've always been open about prices. When I buy a project, I usually always tell you guys the price, and if I don't, it's probably just because I forget. But as YouTube has grown for me, I have turned this more into a business of buying and selling equipment. Now, I've been talking about this in the last couple auction videos we've done, but it still seems like every auction video, I get a pile of comments, people going, where does he get all this money to buy all this equipment? Well, it's from doing exactly this. I mean, the videos pay me a certain amount, but buying stuff at the auction has become its own separate thing. I can buy stuff for a good price and hopefully do next to nothing on it. I mean, sometimes it needs repaired and that's how you make the money, but sometimes you just get a good buy and I can turn around and just sell it outright for way more than I paid for it at the sale. So that's the name of the game. That's how I'm affording to do this. And hopefully this brief explanation answers a lot of those comments before they get left, because I'm not some spoiled rich kid. I'm just somebody that's made my money work for me. And I hope to keep doing that. You know, it's a snowballing effect. The more you spend, the more you can potentially return. I mean, you could also potentially get burned on it as well. So you just got to be careful. But it's the longer you do this process, the more you keep getting on the back end. And that's my goal, is to keep doing that. So here we are, met up with my buddy Sam from Scrappy Industries. And the difference between this sale and a normal sale out here at Richie Brothers is that there is a large volume of new and basically very likely used attachments, because one of the biggest dealers in our area, Highway Equipment, has gone out of business and they are liquidating a lot of stuff here. I'm hoping one of these sets of forks might fit that big Genie telehandler that I bought here last year, because I'm trying to kick that thing down the road and it'd be a lot easier to sell with forks on it.
I guess that's just the skid loader.
No, I don't know if it fits those mini skid steers, but it's for those Advent little articulated loaders. Highway was a dealer for them.
Oh, so the plate's only that wide. That's
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I haven't looked at them.
Pin lockdown. I was looking at like a skid loader would go out there wide.
They got a pile of them though, I'll tell you that. Look at that over there. We might need that guy. So I was actually out here with Muck and Calamity Kim a couple weeks ago, and this beautiful HD5, just like the one I got at the house, except way nicer.
Oh, just like it.
I mean, just like it. But man, this thing's a beauty. They did a really good job restoring this thing. We're gonna see if old Sam will jump on it, fire it up, and give her a go, because it is beautiful.
I don't know how to drive this. All the way back? No, we're not pulling all
That's
the way
how I
back.
started. I don't know.
Where's
And then the starter is that little rod down there by your foot. You got to push that guy.
Too cold.
It's got those detents on the loader, bud. About the nicest sounding 271 I've ever heard. way too nice to be sitting out here at the Richie Brothers yard.
If only it turned left.
I know.
We're gonna see this hot restart.
That's about the nicest older manual machine I think I've run, aside from the left clutch not working. Like the master, everything's just super smooth.
And the nice little quiet muffler Detroit.
Yeah, it's like the quietest 271 you've ever heard.
Right.
It's also the cleanest. Like the fact that you can see the paint on the engine and it's not just one big glob of grease. I've never seen that on a Detroit.
Right. Well, I gave up on cleaning all the old paint off.
Hey, it's still one of the nicest restos I've seen on one of these.
That is a nice track.
I've got that same plaque on a bunch of my machines. I think I got a couple other extras floating around. It's a shame they went out of business. They've been there a long time.
You know where this machine was? Like a showroom, I guess?
I guess it was in Zelia and Opal. Was with that the lowboy driver that hauled this in here actually reached out to me on Instagram and said that it was sitting up there, and I believe that's where he said it anyway. I never saw it, and I was in that dealership a few times.
Yeah.
This guy right here caught my attention. This is a 100-ton American crane. America. It's got two Detroits. I believe it's an 8V71 under the carrier body and then a 671 in the upper. It's all functional. As you can see, they got her all rigged up, and there's a bunch of extra boom sections sitting out there in front of it.
Does that mean we can run it?
Yeah, I had it running the other day when I was here. Sam's gonna give her a go. I couldn't figure out the swing. It wouldn't swing left for me. I think there's like a swing lock that I couldn't figure out how to disengage, but I didn't spend much time playing with it.
I don't know anything about America. It is big.
Yeah, it is. Look at that counterweight over there. That counterweight's got to weigh 20,000 pounds. Like, that thing's massive. That tells you how big it is when Sam can just walk around back there.
Yeah.
Got some smoke rolling. Uh-oh.
Is it smoking now?
Yeah, it's still smoking. I feel like the battery's got a little low. A little bit of a bummer. The old battery doesn't have quite enough juice to make it happen, but she's a big gal, and I did have it running the other day. And I've looking back through the Richie history on these type of machines, and I couldn't find one that sold for more than like $4 grand.
Well, I hope that happens, bud.
Yeah. And if it sells for that kind of money, it's going home with us. I can't wait to drive this thing up the road and have it die right in the middle of a big hill. Yeah, I can't wait to hook the F450 to this thing and try to drag it.
We'll bring the click-clack pump and the jump pack for our fuel transfer.
We'll just come
From the start.
prepared this time. I mean, she is. Go stand next to that thing, Sam. She is a biggin'. It's got planetary axles.
Walk underneath the house.
Yeah, like this thing is big. Planetary drive axles, an 8V71 in the carrier. Look at that counterweight. What a cool couch. Wouldn't that make such a cool couch?
Oh, that would be. Maybe at your unit counterweight bar, you could sit at the American counterweight chair.
Oh, buddy, now you're thinking. So it kind of screwed up. Me and Sam didn't realize when we were up there looking at the auction that that stuff that we were looking at least part of it, was not even in tomorrow's auction. The stuff that I was talking about, that's that highway equipment liquidation, that stuff doesn't even go off till January. I thought it was tomorrow, but the auction does start tomorrow for the stuff that is in tomorrow's auction. I don't remember what we looked at that was or wasn't in that auction. So we'll see what happens tomorrow during the sale. I'm just curious if you guys have got any New Year's resolutions. I've got 2 myself this year. My wife actually made the first one, and that is to stay away from the Richie Brothers auction. I'm not sure how I'm going to manage that, but the second one I feel is a little bit more achievable. I need to start working on my diet a little bit. I need to start exercising a little bit more and trying to stay healthy so I can stick around here longer. I'm already on the right track with that though, because I have been drinking AG1 now for well over a year and a half. AG1 is more than just greens. It's a daily health drink packed with multivitamin probiotics and superfoods in one scoop. It supports energy, digestion, immune defense, and even a healthy mood, all with just 1 scoop each morning. Just 1 scoop of AG1 into a glass of cold water. I also add just a couple drops of D3 plus K2. Couple shakes and she's ready to drink. Bottoms up. Not only is AG1 easy to work into your daily routine, but it tastes great too. It's not something you dread doing, that's for sure. If it was, I wouldn't still be doing it. Some of you guys know that I'm a bit of a scatterbrain. That's why we're working on different projects every single day. I've noticed a difference with AG1. I can think a little bit more clearly, I can stay on task a little bit better, and I can walk across the shop without forgetting why I did that. It also helps with energy. I used to be a morning coffee kind of guy. Now I can go without it. Doesn't really faze me. I feel just as energized with or without it. If you're looking to make a healthy change in 2025, AG1 is a great way to do it. Use my link down in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to save yourself $20 off your first subscription to AG1. Well, they got some nice machines here that I think are going to go way out of my budget, that's for sure. How about these service trucks, though? That's what I'm actually in love with. These are going to go way out of my price range, too, but I can... Yeah, a guy can dream, though. I mean, these things are beauties.
Get them with the torches and everything.
Yeah, it was a quick overnight dissolving of the business. The guys just grabbed their tools out of it and ran. I guess there's still a whole bunch of supplies and stuff over here, Sam was saying.
Yeah, there's there's blaster and grease and whatnot in one of these. Must have. There's supplies in this one.
Look at that. Yeah, you're half rigged up and ready to go. You just add wrenches and sockets and an impact, and you're on the road.
One Harbor Freight stop away. Bucket line out.
You need a bucket, bud?
Oh man.
They got you covered, and that's only about half of them. That's the baby buckets. The big buckets are over there. Good gravy.
My goodness.
Look how cute. It would make like the perfect ashtray on your desk at work.
Oh, you gotta line it back up, bud.
Perfect. So they're Avant floaters, not Advent, like I was saying. They're cute little things for like a homeowner or something. I think I've seen like tree service guys use them because they don't tear up the ground. They're real turf friendly, and they can, yeah, they can get into a lot of tight spots.
They definitely got the European. They even got the big block unlock package.
Yeah, you can do all your hydraulics in one shot. I think just because they're set up in more of like traditional articulated loader configuration, they can actually pick a fair bit too for the size.
And the fatter you are, the more you can pick.
Yeah, there you go. You put your biggest guy on the crew in the seat and you got increased picking capacity. If this lineup didn't tickle your fancy, don't worry, they got more. They also got some Kubotas over here, which I wasn't even really aware that they sold. Whole bunch of IHI track trucks.
We're gonna have to get the Lorraine to help load out the American.
Yeah, there's a cute little rough terrain Lorraine over there we're gonna go have a gander at.
Oh, and there's the big loader.
Yeah, Fat Alice's sumo-sized cousin. Here we go. Fat Alice's sumo-sized cousin is a 945B. I don't know exactly what this thing weighs, but she's a biggin.
All of it.
She will pick up Fat Alice and throw her. Fat Alice is a small child compared to this thing.
It's even got nice tires on it?
It's got nice tires. It's got forks. It's got like a snow bucket set up basically because you're not scooping dirt with that. This thing is jumbo. And I can't see it bringing a lot of money. Like, who needs this thing? Those tires are what, 6 feet tall?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh boy. Well, bud, what do you think? You got your Christmas list all made up?
Nothing. That's my Christmas list.
Santa's got to bring you something.
No, I think Santa's already brought us enough.
Oh.
Santa needs to bring us more time and more tools. Maybe some help.
Elves.
Or else.
I heard the elves come home for Christmas.
Yeah. Does Santa know that you left the workshop?
Oh, man. I can't take my eyes off of Sumo Alice, though. There's also a nice little Alice Chalmers grater there. It won't start, though.
Neither will the Lorraine.
Or the Toyota.
It's essentially the Scrappy Creek corner.
Yeah, this is just the stuff that we buy. They just put it all in one spot for easy loadout for us. Because we're not buying a 50-ton bell. As much as that would be cool, we don't need that. Look at that. An ED 160. This is sweet.
That is sweet.
That is a nice size machine right there. Big enough to do something, small enough to haul it easily.
You think you can find a bucket for it?
My goodness, the sea of buckets that they've got going on here.
It's a couple dollars there.
For sure. Oh, it's not Groundhog Day. This is a duplicate of the one I bought at the last sale. It looks potentially a little bit less rusty. Not that mine's bad, but this one just seems a little nicer. I don't think I need to buy another one, but man, look at that guy. I might need that guy. That thing is sweet. Well, it's the day of the sale. They're currently blowing out trucks, and in the other ring, there's two rings going on here. In the other ring, they're selling backhoes and a bunch of equipment that's not at our location right now, so I don't really try to concern myself with the other locations. I got hard enough time keeping up with this one. So while he's selling trucks and stuff I'm not really interested in, I'm over here perusing through my watch list, and this crane just keeps coming up to me. And I've looked through the Richie history to see what these things have sold for in the past, and it is peanuts. I haven't seen a one of these on their site that's sold for more than like $5 grand. I don't know that I want to sit here and waste my time all day watching this auction because there's not a whole lot in here that I'm concerned with. I think I'm going to go ahead and place a little priority bid on this thing just so I don't have to sit here and watch this all day. I'm going to put $3,500 on it. And I feel like I might actually get it for that, believe it or not. That's what I paid for the big Grove crane. This one's a lot bigger though. Just the fact that it didn't kick out my priority bid there and say you've already been outbid, that means that nobody else has put a priority on it, or at least not a priority bid as high as mine. Well, it's a few days after the sale, and go figure, we managed to score a few items. There's a pothole. So now we're up here at Richie Brothers to come to collect. So, of all the things that we looked at up on the preview date here, I only managed to pick up one of the things we looked at, but I did manage to pick up two items that we did not look at, so bought sight unseen. All I could see was the pictures, and I really only saw those moments before the thing sold anyhow. So leave your comments down below, see what you think I managed to score from the stuff that you guys did see. Obviously you can't guess what I didn't show you. You can check in with the office guys and we're going to get loaded. So, if you guessed another Takeuchi skid loader, you'd be right. I bought this TL240 high flow, so it's the same machine that I already have, except it has high flow hydraulics. I actually found out after I bought it that I know the gentleman that listed it in the auction. He said he sent it up here as a running unit, ready to put into the sale, and during the check-in process to the auction, this thing just cut out and died, and they couldn't get it restarted, so it sold as inoperable. I picked this thing up for $9,200. If I can get it running again and operating, it should be worth about $25. Because I knew the guy, I even told him I bought it, and he sent along all the service records and everything, so we have those we can look at and see if we can decipher what may be the problem. Again, I haven't seen this thing. I'm gonna hit the key and just see what things sound like. Maybe it sounds good, maybe it sounds bad. He said the motor may be questionable based upon what the inspector told him when it died. What do you think the over-under is on this thing being scattered, John?
I think it's gonna go click, 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 and dead.
I don't even have a key, I don't think. They took the key out of it. I don't think I have a talk key on my ring here. No, I got a monopillar key. Aww.
To the office.
Probably to the house. Takeuchi. When skid steers fly. Life's easier when you have a big Volvo. Final drive. We're already diagnosing stuff. I'm slinging chains on it here, and I've noticed that the inboard final drive seal is leaking. That's not a showstopper, but it's something we need to consider once we get it running. That may be an issue.
What do you see?
The bucket. I don't know what manufacturer this bucket is, but not a good one. It's just a seam there that never got welded. It's welded on the inside, but that ain't right. Yep. All right, let's go.
So how heavy is that skid steer?
Not very. It's about 11,000 pounds, I think. Like 10 and change. The old Mac doesn't really know it's back there. That's about the only thing you could haul and not know it's back there. Much more than that, you're gonna know. I like this thing, but it's not a powerhouse, that's for sure. We're gonna fix that. Well, within reason. It's not gonna be Sam's truck. but it'll tow the mail.
I don't know why.
Just Jake and coming down the driveway, of course. Now the problems one faces when they get home with their new dead Takeuchi is, where do you put the new dead Takeuchi? Luckily the ground's still frozen. All right, I'm home. I got a key. Let's see if this thing's gonna crank. Signs of life. Glow plug-in. Things don't sound happy, Bob. Not horrible though. It doesn't sound like it's scattered. It sounds like we have some uneven compression going on, which, I don't know. We have to look into it. But I'm glad it's not scattered. Doesn't sound like there's a rod hanging out the side of the block or anything. Let's get this thing off the trailer, and this will be another video trying to figure out what's going on with this guy. The next thing I managed to snag here at the sale was this beautiful, this is literally the first time I'm laying eyes on this thing, 2018 F-150. Why? Because it was going too cheap. It does have a pile of miles on it. It's got 222,000 miles on it, but it's a 2018 XLT. Looks like it's got the same exact infotainment system that mine has, my F450 has, and I managed to get this thing for $6,700. Let's take a look at it. I believe this was the first year for the aluminum body, so no rust or rot to speak of. If you look at the one behind you here, rust and rot's a bit of an issue. It's got some good looking rims. The pictures on the website showed even like the frame and stuff underneath looks really clean on it. The interior is the big part, that looks nice. Bed's not all bunged up. I see no real body damage at all. The only thing I'm noticing is like the running boards. The coating is peeling off the running boards a bit, but that's not atrocious. Looks like we got a pretty new set of tires on here. Those are nice. WeatherTech floor liners. Interior, for 222,000 miles, this interior looks really good. Looks like they took good care of this thing. Richie Brothers put a video of this thing running on the website, but the video was pretty terrible with the audio. I couldn't really hear it run. I didn't look at this thing previous to the sale. I wasn't exactly in the market for an F-150, but when they're gonna give them away this cheap, I can be. Anyways, let's see what this thing's gonna sound like. Oh, it sounds like it needs a jump.
Ooh.
Okay, lifter tick, went away. Lucas Oil fixes that. Got to check engine light. All the tires are low. It's got navigation, that's cool. Actually, the engine sounds better after it's run here for a second. Still not great. There's a heat shield rattling right now, but it's definitely smoothed out. you do a 50-50 oil change with Lucas and oil, it'll be fine. What I'm betting the issue is, if there is an issue, I know these 3.5 EcoBoosts are known for cam phaser issues, so if there's an issue, that could definitely be one. I have a lot to learn about these. Hopefully, I don't learn by self-experience. But I might keep it, might drive it for a while, or I might just kick it down the road. Either way, I think I got a good enough buy. There's room for fixing on a little bit if I need to. It runs, drives, and stops, but reliably, I don't know.
Matt, what happened?
Battery, it won't restart.
What are we trying to do?
Jump start it, drive it home.
And we can't even do that.
Oh, we can. Just needed some jumper cables.
Try that. There we go.
A lot of legroom in this thing. Pretty nice.
2018.
I've never driven an F-150. At least not in a long, long time. Not one that was made in this past 2-3 decades. Tell you what. Pretty nice. Yeah, like for 222,000 miles, this is a very nice interior on this truck. It's gonna be a shame when we whistle and diesel it off a cliff. This thing is way too nice for the money.
Oh! Yeah, that got some air.
So we got a tire pressure warning light on. We've got a traction control off light, but that's on purpose. Check engine light. But all in all, this thing runs and rides really good. It doesn't feel like I'm driving a truck with 200,000 miles on it. I would say the feel matches the interior experience, which is like a 60 to 80,000 mile experience. At this particular moment, I couldn't be happier with my purchase so far. Those funky noises that it made when we first started it in the yard, I don't know, they're gone now. I mean, this thing has been sitting up there for probably at least a week since anybody's touched it. We don't know how overdue it is for an oil change. We also don't know how overdue it is for a transmission oil change. We don't know anything about it. I did find a slip in the glove box here that says it's from a heavy haul outfit, so I imagine its former life was probably an escort driver, so all this thing probably ever did was drive in front of or behind a oversized load and escort drive. Or if the drivers got somewhere, they couldn't go any further for the day, they'd all pile into this thing and drive to the hotel or go get something to eat or go get parts if they're broke down, something like that. So these 222,000 miles are likely all interstate easy drive. And they couldn't even speed because they're following an oversized load, so they're just cruising. Power back window? Oh!
So what do you got to do over here?
Well, as you may have figured from earlier in the video, I own it. $5,500 was all it took to buy this 100-ton capacity lattice boom American carrier mounted crane. The trouble with something like this is, A, it's antiquated. You can't really, I don't think you're technically allowed to take it on a modern job site just because it doesn't have all the fancy requirements that modern jobs require, like an LMI. Don't ask me what that stands for. I don't remember, but basically it means you can't take this thing and put it on a modern job site. The other reason it's not worth anything to anybody, other than scrap pretty much, is because it's such a pain to move this thing. The Grove is really simple and convenient. You guys have seen me. I can tear that up and down really quick and drive it around to where I want it. This thing, to put it together and take it apart, is going to take a couple guys like all day with supporting equipment. So really, it's only good for your viewing pleasure.
Well, why you do it then, baby Billy? Well, 'cause I'm selfless.
Anyway, we got to throw a tape measure on some things and see what it's going to take to haul the counterweight and the boom sections home, and then drive the rest of it. Yeah, it's 11 feet wide.
11.
11.
11. Of course
Does it
not.
require a permit to drive it home? Yes, it does. Are we gonna get one? Yes. So evidenced by the big old counterweight here, she's got some gravity to her. I'm guessing this thing weighs between 30 and 40,000 pounds. It's gonna take some picking to get this thing up. We're gonna have to take this home on the lowboy as a load by itself. Maybe I can throw that catwalk on with it. It doesn't weigh anything. But this has got some mass to it. We're not playing around with anything little anymore. We're probably gonna end up using the Grove to set this crane up. Behind you are the boom sections that I have to haul. I believe these are 40 feet in length and 5 foot wide. I think they're 5 foot square. Yeah, 5 by 5 by 40 boom sections. We've got 3 of them to haul, plus the point section on the boom. This is a big undertaking to get this thing back to the house. I hope the wife likes her new flagpole. Well, that's another successful Richie Brothers auction in the bag. And I think the thing I'm most happy with out of this whole deal is White Lightning here. It's been about 3 weeks, I think, since the sale. And I just got this thing inspected. I've been driving it for 2 weeks now. Passed an inspection with flying colors. The check engine light went away after I drove it for a little while. Don't know what that's about. It definitely has cam phaser issues. If you know anything about the 3.5 EcoBoost, which I didn't before I bought this thing, but I learned. They are known for cam phaser issues. This one, with 222,000 miles, I'm thinking has probably had them done before, but I guess there's an updated part now, so I don't know what part it got, if it got the original ones that go bad again, or if it's got the new updated ones. Whatever it's got in there, it's bad. When you first start it up and there's no oil in the cam phaser, it makes a heck of a clatter, which is what you guys heard when we first started it up at the sale. Other than that, though, everything's great with this thing. 4-wheel drive works, heated seats work. I mean, it's been nice to drive this thing around rather than that 450. I love my 450, but it's kind of cumbersome, especially for like winter driving. A dually's not exactly ideal. So this thing's been treating me nice. It makes heat very fast. That's the other big advantage to driving a gas job over a diesel, is this time of year, you know, if you don't have your diesel plugged in, it's going to take quite a while to get some heat out of it. This thing, you fire it up, and before I get halfway down my street, we're blowing hot air. So just a recap of everything we got old White Lightning here is what I'm dubbing this thing, I think. We also got the Takeuchi TL240 high flow there. As you guys saw, it doesn't exactly run all the way yet, but it does run, as in it's not scattered. There's a fixable issue there without having to probably pull an engine and rebuild the thing. I don't know exactly what that is yet. We're going to have to dive into that into a future video. Obviously, that's going to become a project all to itself, as well as the 100-ton American crane. You guys are sitting on one of the boom sections. I do have the boom home at this point and the counterweight. Just like the last time at the sale we bought a big crane, that's going to turn into its own video, the tear down and bringing that thing home, because just tearing that machine down and getting it back here to the farm is a pretty major project unto itself. So I hope you guys stay tuned for big crane adventures coming your way very soon. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for today. So if you enjoy these videos, please do me a big favor. Hit that thumbs up button down below the video. Really helps out the channel. Doesn't cost you guys a dime. If you would like to help support the channel in a little more direct fashion, you can do so by heading over to dieselcreek.com. Link, as always, down in the description there. Pick yourself up a sweet hat, t-shirt, beer koozie, sticker pack, whatever, over there at the store. That's dieselcreek.com. We appreciate the support. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Later.